All right, so check this out. This is the floor versus ceiling concept. I'm going to go over this quickly with you. The goal of this is to understand this concept because life happens and we need to have a way to stay consistent. We need to have a framework that keeps us successful when things don't go well, because life will kick you in the face. And that's why this is called the floor plan, okay? More specifically, the floor versus ceiling. It's a concept that we'll go over in a second, but essentially, like, you can think of busy weeks, traveling, when life kicks you in the face. That's probably the most common, where like something just happens, you're sick, you didn't sleep well, kids are sick, kids didn't sleep well, stress at work, stress with the spouse, stress with your parents, whatever. Stuff happens, life happens. Or you feel like you're letting yourself down. Maybe you feel like you're letting me down if I'm your coach. There's a lot of things that can happen in our own mind, the warfare of our own mind, when we're going through a fitness journey. And so this is an extremely helpful framework to understand, because this will give you something to latch onto for when life does kick you in the face, which is inevitable. It is going to happen. You've experienced it many times by now. You might be in one right now, a period where life's kicking you in the face, or you're going to enter one soon. Same for me. This is life, you know? So let's go through it. So floor versus ceiling, okay? The floor versus ceiling concept is basically considering the reality that you will have days or weeks that do not follow the usual meal plan or tracking or whatever your nutrition plan is. I should just say nutrition. Either due to choice, so, you know, you watching this probably well aware of this, when you're like, I just chose not to put myself first or my goals first, and I'm either struggling with it or I'm not, or whatever. Regardless, it's a choice, right? I've experienced this, you've experienced this, we make a choice. So either due to choice or things happen outside of our control. Both can be very, very frustrating, okay? The unpredictability of life means things happen outside of our control. We cannot control that. A lot of people struggle with that. They want, when they commit to a fitness transformation, they want everything to go perfectly, which essentially implies that they lack confidence in themselves, that they will find a way to win even when life isn't perfect. So that's what that means. So if you're that person where you look for everything to align and you're like, they'll use words like this: I hope, I wish, yeah, that it's usually around that. I hope this goes well. I hope the weekend goes well. I wish this would happen, or whatever. Get away from that type of language. Typically, people who think like that are usually very nervous about the external environment not going their way, because they don't actually believe that they are capable. So we want to flip that and be like, no, you can do this. You absolutely can do this. We don't need anything to go perfect. Actually, life could be kicking you in the face for 12 weeks straight, and you could very well still succeed. If you don't believe that, you need to work on this mindset then. This concept understands that success does not require you to be operating at your ceiling all of the time. We'll get to that in a second. You just need to be consistently in between your floor and your ceiling. This implies the importance of defining both, because obviously you're like, well, what does this mean? What is my floor? What is my ceiling? Let's go over it. So the ceiling, we'll call this like the ceiling plan. So your ceiling is when you're nailing food exactly on plan, you're hitting your steps, crushing your water, smashing your workouts, okay? Everything listed in your usual plan. So basically everything laid out where you're like, I got to do this, and this, and this, and that is the perfect plan. Like I said here, this is when everything goes damn near perfect. But spoiler, life isn't perfect. It's going to kick you in the face. And it might kick you in the face for days in a row, or weeks, sometimes months, sometimes years. Ooh. It is what it is, you know? Floor plan. Okay, the floor plan. So this is the other end. So this is when you're off routine, on a trip, busy day you didn't plan for, or things just seem to be going very wrong in every single way, which we can all relate to most of those things, okay? This is normal, this is expected. To succeed, we just need to bounce back and forth between the floor and the ceiling plan while staying consistent. You do not need to be at your ceiling 100% of the time. Thank God for this, because it's impossible anyway. So the idea here, I should have had a visual in here, but I can kind of use my hands. So essentially what it is like your floor, it's low, it's your floor. That's why it's called the floor. And then your ceiling's up here, okay? So floor's here, ceiling's here. You essentially need to have a plan for both. Your ceiling plan is, we already know what that is. That is everything outlined in whatever your blueprint game plan is, right? Your nutrition plan, your training plan, your accountability plan, whatever, everything that you have, right? If you're a client of mine, then you know exactly what this is. The floor plan is not that. It's anything below that, right? Where one or more of those things are like, I didn't do it today, either by choice or we literally just could not do it. Either way, that is your floor plan, okay? Now, you should be specific on this. This is kind of part of the homework on this document that I'm going to recommend you do, is kind of define what your floor plan is. It's good already to start with, okay, my floor plan is essentially anything below the perfect ceiling plan. Cool. But the floor, you need to have a floor plan. I'll give you an example, okay? So floor plan that I've had clients kind of fall into in the past would be like, they're like, holy shit, I woke up, everything's screwed up. Tim, what do I do to stay on the rails here? And then I go, you know what you're going to do? You're going to eat a breakfast. Don't care what it is. As long as it's single ingredient whole food, but I don't care what the macros are, don't care about weighing the food, don't care about any of that. But just don't eat junk, but just eat something at breakfast. You're going to eat something at lunch. You're going to eat something at dinner. So you're going to eat 3 times a day. You're not going to have any snacks in between. You're going to drink your water, and then you're going to go to bed. And that's it. Can you eat 3 meals today of any food that isn't junk, okay? And no snacking in between. Can you do that, right? That's a floor plan, because the idea there is you want something that's entry level, that's like, okay, everything feels overwhelming, my world feels like it's collapsing. What is the lowest hanging fruit that I can achieve today, that I know I can do without a doubt, okay? That's essentially what your floor plan is. And everyone's is going to look different, and it's going to be different depending on the day and what you're getting smoked with, right? Depending on the situation you find yourself in. So yeah, define your floor plan and then use this 2-step plan below to fall into things when things go sideways. So you could use this as your default floor plan, or you could take this and then kind of tweak it, okay? So you want to save this resource and have it on hand. So it's a 2-step floor plan. So you wake up, you're like, oh my goodness, everything is screwed. I feel like crap, but I'm not sick enough to call in sick for work. Kids got to go to daycare. Kids got to go to school. The one kid's sick, so they're staying home. So someone's got to stay home for them. And then it's Friday, and I have all this stuff that has to get done for work that was supposed to get done on Wednesday, whatever, right? Life gets gnarly, and you're just going to be like, cool, open this up, get this document going, and you're going to choose your quick and easy meals from these two. You got 2 options here. So you have 28 options basically, because you got 8 high protein breakfasts you can make in 10 minutes, and you got 20 high protein meals you can make in 10 minutes here. Okay, so you got 28 different high protein meals that you can make quick, depending on what you have on hand in your fridge and in your cupboard. But they're quick, okay? That's kind of the idea here. If you're traveling, here's a grocery list. So this only matters in like certain scenarios, so you can skip that if that doesn't apply to you. And then the second step here, follow these 3 habits, okay? Stop before full. So no matter what you end up eating on that day that might be totally off plan, don't lose your mind. If you're going to give up just because you can't follow it perfectly, that's failure. You're choosing failure. We're trying to avoid that, and that's what this framework is for. So doesn't matter what it is, okay? Eat whatever that meal is. Maybe it's from this list, maybe it's not. But stop before full. That's 80% full, okay? Even if there's food left over. One way that's going to help you do that is be present during all meals and be mindful. Be mindful also with cravings and hunger in between the meals, okay? So those are the first 2 habits. And then the last one, don't snack outside of mealtime. Other than coffee, tea, or Diet Pop, just only eat actual food at mealtime, okay? Follow these 3 habits. Ideally, you're picking meals from here if you need it. Otherwise, you can make your own kind of floor plan in regards to like, here's what I'm going to do if everything goes to shit. I'm going to cook 3 hard-boiled eggs, and I'm going to do this for lunch, and I'm going to whatever, right? You want something simple. If you're a client of mine, I'm happy to help you with this. If you're not a client of mine, I'm happy to give you some pointers and some guidance on this as well. So just send me a message. But this is the idea. So the visual of this would be like, say over a year. We'll use a year as an example. Over a year, this is your ceiling. This is perfect plan, hitting it every day. That's how people picture their journey is going to go, but it doesn't. And that's why they get frustrated inevitably when they have a bad day. So what we want to do is just expect things to go bad, okay? And that's fine. And then that's why we want to have a floor plan here, which is like our support level that keeps us up and keeps us from failing. So you're basically over 12 months, you're going to bounce back and forth. You're going to like hang out kind of near your ceiling for a while. Then you're going to drop. You're going to go through a tough time in life. Maybe January, February now. That is the case for a lot of people. Maybe you're at your floor plan a lot of the days. You're not hitting the ceiling very often. That's okay. You just need to keep going and stay in this channel between floor and ceiling. Okay. So then over time, you'll average out, stay in that column, stay in that channel. you'll do enough consistently over time to see results. And this is why people fail, because they just quit. So this is a framework to keep you on the rails and stop you from quitting when things don't go your way. So a lot of this is about managing expectations as well. So let me know any thoughts on this. Let me know any questions, and I hope this helped.